Hey everybody, hello, it's your friendly neighborhood me here. I'm gonna look at some stuff and we're gonna look at it together. What should we start with? Okay, I've never seen Star Trek really, but I know that one of the actors, I guess I don't know. What I've heard is that one of the actors was actually a trombone player and so they wrote it in. All right, so this is Riker and his trombone. Looks like he's actually playing. Oh, it's a different shot. And that does not look like he's playing. Okay.
Is that supposed to be a question? Because if you were asking me if I liked what you were playing, then the answer is yes. You know, this is a much better way of communicating for you. It's far less confusing than the way you normally speak.
Oh.
I knew I could count on Mayim Zadi, the ship's counselor, to boost my self-image.
I'm glad to be of service.
He's definitely playing here. But then check that out. Ba-da-da-da. You don't have to move the slide to play the same note. But we switch to this other camera angle. And so the slide's moving quite a bit. And all he's doing is, sounds like an A flat. Ba-da-da-da. Oh, interesting. It's an A natural? What? 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 It's a B. Okay, for those of you who don't play trombone, here's the thing. If you're gonna play this, let me get a trombone. All right, that is legitimately surprising. So, first watch of this, it's like, oh, he's probably playing, and it's like a very simple thing to do on trombone is like a B flat, bluesy kind of thing. Something like that. And it's like first position. It's a B flat, which is just really easy to tune. You bring the slide all the way in, right? So that's why that's our first note. It's like playing open on a trumpet or a tuba or anything. You just blow into it, and that's the first note that comes out. So hearing him play something that's like not particularly virtuosic. Also, it's like he's actually playing as the actor. You'd imagine him to be playing something very simple like this. Watching it and hearing it, it lines up to me. If you had perfect pitch, it wouldn't, because you'd be like, he's playing a B flat and it's sounding a B natural. But it lines up perfectly for what he's playing. In fact, I just thought it was like when I said, oh, it's an A flat, because it just makes sense. Like that's. Like that's what he's playing, and it's what I'm seeing. It's just the sound is off. Assuming he's actually playing, and for some reason the sound got like raised a half step in production. Let's keep watching. So okay, here's the issue here. He does this little laugh. You need to take a breath to play a phrase like that. You just need to take a breath, and he goes, huh, and then like lips right to the horn. Like there's not enough time. There's not enough time at all. There's just no way. You can't put the lips to your face and play at the same time. It doesn't work. You have to set up, like kind of create some sort of seal with your lips, then play. Like my lips are on the horn as I'm breathing out of the corners of my mouth to do something like that. And he's going, like you just can't. You can't do it at the same time. So he's probably miming along, but it's possible he's miming along to his own playing. That's the thing. So, is a B natural, and he's playing it in first position. So there's a few options here, but probably the audio just got shifted. But in TV and film all the time, we mime along to recordings that we didn't play. It's called sideline work. I've actually done it twice now. One with Stranger Things season 3, and again with Stargirl, the DC Universe TV show on CW. So I'm in both of those. If you didn't know that, now you know. But there's a studio in LA or wherever that recorded the music, and then we mime along. But we're real musicians, right? It's important that we're real musicians so we know what we're doing, but we're not actually recording on film. That's already been done in a studio. So it's possible that it's some other trombone player in a studio somewhere recording this, and then he's miming along. And if that's the case, then that studio musician played it in B natural just to screw with this guy completely. But I just feel like that's not what happened. I have another clip from this guy. It's he's playing The Nearness of You. I don't know the context. It looks like a flashback. Ooh, do you know who that is? Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, no, nobody needs sheet music for like a setting like this. 0 people have ever used sheet music at a jazz jam. Let alone, I don't know what those say, but it's not The Nearness of You, that's for sure. So yeah, take the sheet music out. I get it. It's Hollywood. You want people to be like reading sheet music, but sorry, jazz musicians don't do that. Let's watch this. I hope we get to hear him sing, the piano player, so I can show you who he is. There's no way. I don't know enough about bass. Wow, he sounds good. That's not the same trombone player we just heard. That sounds great though. It's a pretty good mime, especially for the time period. I mean, this is like the 80s. You don't get a million takes. Let's see. Why? It's B natural again. Yo, I think something's screwy with Star Trek. I think they just raise all their music up just for fun. That's weird. Because again, he's miming a B flat and it's sounding a B natural. I don't understand it all. I want to pitch shift this down just so I feel better.
She digs you.
She digs you.
What makes you say that? Hey, look at her.
Okay.
Maybe it's my music.
Yeah, well, about that, don't give up your day job.
Shade.
Too real.
Gosh.
You got that straight, Slim. Too real is too right.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
Ain't nothing to it.
Ain't nothing to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is a legendary musician right there. Let me see if I can pull up I guess I can't speak for people younger than me. I assume his videos are still played, but just listen to his voice a couple times and see if you can guess who this is. I would say the majority of the people watching this video have heard his voice before.
Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it.
Are your votes in? Here, comment below right now if you know this person's voice and you've heard it somewhere. And if you know what it's from, comment with what it's from. All right, here we go. That is Jack Sheldon, as heard, right here.
Woo, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just
There
a
he
bill.
is.
Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long,
Come on.
long wait while I'm sitting in
Come
committee. But I
on.
know I'll be a law someday.
Let's get back to let's do this one. Hear it again.
Ain't nothing to it.
There he is. Come on. That's awesome. Also, I like the nondescript trombone. They took off the counterweight, which there's this thing that people do in TV and film, which it's called like Greeking. A really easy way to do that is just take the logo off. And so, not many trombones look like that, especially for a professional. You're not going to have a trombone that doesn't have a counterweight, probably. I believe the other one, he did have it, though. Yeah, look at that. It's a king. He's got a king. And it does seem like it might be the same trombone. They just took it off. I wonder why. Another explanation, which is I actually have a funny story about, is that the King logo sets the specific time period, which is the 80s, right? Like when that logo was made and when King was around. So this is a trombone. If you're taking place in the future, if your show is taking place in the future, then the only explanation of him having this is that it's like an antique, like hundreds of years antique. So maybe it's easier to just take off the logo and then you don't have to explain that away. But when I was on set with Stranger Things, we had too many drummers. And so one of them just used their home like marching snare. And yeah, we got a little torn up for that because they're like, Stranger Things takes place in the 80s and that drum wouldn't have existed until much later. So gotta be careful. Continuity, folks. I've wondered about this one. This is Homer Simpson playing Greensleeves. And I remember when I first saw this, I was like, that looks like the right slide positions, but I never checked it out. The first half looks good. Wow, it looks good. Wow. Okay. There's a part in the middle that looks weird. So it's possible he's using alternate slide positions, which is just like, are we really doing that? Are we really animating Homer Simpson playing the correct slide positions and using alternate slide positions? So correct slide positions would be... Wow, there it is. So it's a freaking alternate position. That's so when I watched this, I was like, that looks a little weird. It doesn't feel like it's lining up for just that little part there, but the rest of it lined up perfectly. I'm like, what's going on? So what's going on is you could play D in first position, but you could also play it in fourth position, a little lowered fourth position. But you would only do that if you're playing something that is fast or really melodic and you don't want to move the slide so much. The only explanation is that whoever played it and, sent the video of them playing it to the animators played that alternate position. But like, that's so good. Let's give Family Guy a chance.
Most of the time, the kids will exercise out in the field. But if it's raining or I'm hungover, they stay inside and play dodgeball.
Oh, I love dodgeball. Heads up.
And this week in home ec, we're teaching your kids how to make bundt cake.
Oh, I love bundt cake. Heads up.
The school band offers a wide variety of instruments from the kettle drum to the trombone.
Oh, I love the trombone.
I know, isn't he wonderful? He took lessons in junior college.
Heads up!
That sound design's actually like pretty decent. Let's listen to that one more time.
Lessons in junior college.
Heads up!
Wow. Okay. So all right, let's check out the trombone. It's just like an awkward instrument to draw. I mean, this looks so accurate. It's got the bell flare, it's got that. It's shaped correctly. The only issue with this is you can't play it lying down because it goes back behind you. And so in this example, it would be like cutting through the headboard here. But with this one, check this out. So it's shaped completely like it's got this cone shape here, which it's fine, it's cartoony. But then there's all this tubing here, which would make sense for an F attachment horn, but it doesn't have an F attachment. Like there's no valve on it on the other side, right? He's just like holding it here. And then what's going on with this lead pipe? It like bends back around his face instead of going straight into the slide, which is like, where's that pipe even going? Here's what's confusing about this. Like to animate this, you're doing all sorts of crazy things that like a trombone exists. You can just look at one. It'd probably be a lot easier than making up an instrument that doesn't exist, which is what this is, right? So this lead pipe bends back around his face and goes where? Like, where is the slide tube coming from? It's so... I don't understand. like the physics of this instrument. It's just a mess. So it's like, you know, on the one hand, of course, who cares? Who cares if it's an accurate depiction of a trombone? But on the other hand, this is so much more difficult than actually just copying a trombone. Like, you had to make up a new instrument. Anyway, let's see if the slide positions match up at all. Right off the bat, like, if you're playing that high on the instrument, you're not going out to 4th and 5th position. I understand for like a visual representation of a trombone, the whole like fun of it is to go out like down on the bottom of the slide. But he's sliding down in like 4th and 5th position, which like technically you probably can play some of those notes there, but you never would. You'd be in like 2nd and 1st, which again is not a fun visual gag. If you're gonna use a trombone, you want to use the slide. I get it. Yeah, that's got to be like 1st position still. Yeah, it's just an F. So he's moving the slide a lot more than he has to. And he's out in 6th position. I guess you'd have to be out in 7th if you really wanted to do that. Which is kind of interesting because that's a D, but he's sliding down to the D. So we're back at this alternate position D again, except it's just in the audio, not in the video this time. There's just no way to slide down to 1st position, right? So that one should be in like 3rd to 4th. That's certainly where that was played in the recording. And then he's still sliding around. Wow. Maybe I'll do this. What I'm going to do right now is analyze this video, and I'm going to record something that could line up exactly with what his slide positions are doing. And maybe it'll sound good, maybe it'll sound bad. I don't know yet. But that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here it is. Peter playing the trombone correctly. Enjoy.
I know, isn't he wonderful?
Well, there it is. Hope you like this video. I have a whole ton of other videos to react to from pop culture, some YouTubers playing, trying to play trombone on late night shows and all that good stuff. But please, I don't know about all of them. So comment below with the videos you know of from pop culture, from TV, from film. Anybody ever mentions a trombone or plays a trombone, please comment so I know about it and I can react to it. I would love to see them all. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the Patreon donors making all these videos possible. Subscribe, like it, comment, do all the things. Find me on Instagram at Classical Trombone. By the way, next week I'll be coming out with my video early, so you have a couple days before Halloween to actually enjoy the Halloween video. I think I'll be coming out with that Thursday. Other than that, go out and vote. Early voting just opened in New York, so make it happen. And yeah, I'll see you next week.